there. My name is Sandy Jacquard, Holistic Health and Lifestyle Coach, and we have here my really good friend Marci Carl. She's our executive chef today. She's a local chef here in Santa Cruz County. We have a special dish we're going to make here for you. Actually, she's going to make it. I'm going to watch, but it's definitely going to be a treat. Marci joined a 21-day cleanse program, and so we were inspired during that program to make some cleanse-friendly food. Marci noticed that a lot of the participants in the cleanse were really nervous about going vegan and cooking with plants. They're like, what are we going to do without our pasta? And so Marci had some ideas, and she's going to show them to you today. So we are in for a treat. Marci, tell us about your dish.
Well, I just want to first say that just because you're on a cleanse or eating plant forward, it can be super exciting. You can still like build your flavor with aromatics and like searing veggies a little bit to add some like toffee tones, and like it doesn't have to be boring. So don't be scared. Today we're gonna make a traditional pesto pasta dish minus the gluten. We're gonna use zucchini noodles. It's one of my favorites, a delicious pesto pasta dish that's just like nothing else. So we're gonna use some local seasonal produce and recreate the classic minus the gluten, so we can all feel. So you can eat it and feel really good and also feel good that you are just nutritionally eating, providing as many nutrients as you can to your dinner, and still enjoy those traditional comfort foods.
Amazing, and it smells delicious. I cannot wait to get started. What do you say we get started?
Sounds great.
All right.
Today we're going to make a vegan pesto, traditional Italian pesto with pine nuts, fresh garlic, a little cracked sea salt, pepper, and Italian unfiltered olive oil. So you're going to want like about 2 to 3 cups of fresh basil leaf. You want to get the stems out and just keep cooking. Then you're going to pulse the basil until it's broken down pretty good. Now you're going to add your pine nuts. Once you get your basil leaf broken down into small little minced pieces, you're going to add about a half a cup of pine nuts. I know pine nuts are pretty expensive. If you want to use a substitute like almonds or walnuts or pecans, that's totally okay too. Food processor on low. So I think that a lot of times people have some questions about how to prep out Swiss chard. So we have the whole leaf like this, but you're going to want to cut up until about here, the center stalk out, and then that will be cooked separately from the actual Swiss chard. So now we have these two pieces. You're going to cut this in half. So then you're stacking up, creating piles of the leaves cut in half. And then we have this off to the side. Start by sauteing on about medium-high heat these beautiful shiitake and cremini mushrooms. We're going to get a little color on these, and then we're going to start building up our sauce. Okay, so now my mushrooms are seared, and you can start smelling like the nuttiness coming out of them. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil and start sweating out my garlic and some fresh serrano chilies. I just added a couple of chilies. I just want a little bit of a little accent of heat in there. I'm also gonna sweat out my shallots and allow this flavor with a little bit of salt in there to really just bring out the flavors of the shallot and create the base of my sauce here. You don't want to get any color on your shallots, the garlic, because then that turns into like almost like a more of a toasted flavor than the actual like high value of and flavor point of garlic and shallots. So you want to sweat them out on low until they become translucent, and that flavor is really just like concentrating the oil that I have in there. So I'm building up this flavor before I add any of the other ingredients. I am going to add just a little bit more olive oil so that the olive oil seasons, and then I'm going to start with the bigger vegetables first, the vegetables that take a little bit longer. I'm going to start with this, I use the stalks of the Swiss chard. I prefer to use every bit of the vegetable, root to stem, if possible. It really adds like a nice earthy, minerally flavor, and they're beautiful. A little bit of crunch. I'm going to turn it up to medium. I'm also at this time going to add my asparagus, because that also takes a little bit to cook. I'm going to let this cook down until it's tender, just short of being completed. Really give it a nice saute to get all those flavors in there. Let it cook down a few minutes until this asparagus is tender, and then I'm going to add in my greens. You want to wait until the asparagus is tender because the greens only take a couple of minutes to cook. And at that same time, I'm going to add in my zucchini noodles, because those also just take a couple minutes to cook. Okay, so now our asparagus is kind of changing its tone. It's getting a little bit more tender, becoming a little bit more brighter green. At this point, I'm going to toss in my zucchini noodles. Alright, so now our zucchini noodles are cooked down al dente, and all the veggies are nice and tender. All the flavors come together. I'm going to add this beautiful vegan pesto right now and toss it together. I don't want this pesto to cook because then it ruins all of the fresh, raw, nutritional elements, and also changes the flavor profile. So I'm really just going to toss these as if I was tossing a salad. plant-based take on a pesto pasta. So here we have our plant super nutritious pesto pasta.
That looks so good. My mouth is like watering now. And it looks like something that anybody can make. I mean, watch you make it. It was quick. It looked easy. You probably switch out the vegetables if you didn't have those ones, and use different, ingredients if that's what you've got, right?
Yeah, you can really use any sort of greens on the bottom. You could saute any vegetable. What I really what I really enjoy the most is prepping out my pesto at the beginning of the week. Same with some all of my noodles. So then I can just saute any vegetables on hand, put it over a pile of greens, fresh greens, and you have dinner ready in like under 10 minutes.
That is amazing, and I know for people that are cleansing or attempting to eat healthy and bringing that into their life, like that food prep is such a big deal. And so to have the versatility of this dish, to be able to use the pesto on different things throughout the week. You can use the zucchini noodles in different ways. You can use your sautés on different things. That is brilliant. We love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, bye for now.
Bye.